Everybody. Welcome. I'm David Monroe. Welcome to my Keto message. And I have been trying to come on for the last couple of minutes, but for whatever reason, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't go live. And finally, I realized it was because I was on stream key and not camera, probably from a test I did the other day with a product. Starts with an O. That's not it. OBS Studio. Yeah, I was playing with OBS Studio to see if I could have a live stream with me and then as well as show my screen so you could see me and my screen so that when I talk about the recipe for this evening, which is keto garlic rosemary pork chops, which, hey, it's not chicken. Woohoo! It's the other white meat. Then you'd be able to see it and I can explain it as I go down it, but you're not going to be able to do that tonight. The other thing I'm doing differently tonight is I have gone live from my Facebook page. Now, normally I've been going live from my Facebook group, which is a private group. And I decided tonight that I'd go live via the page so that people can get to know what we're doing. So maybe that they'll come into the group. We share these recipes I'm going to talk about tonight every single evening. And I think you can find great value from the Facebook group with a lot of the things that we share in there. And I want more people to be able to see this. We really haven't had the Q&A yet that I'm hoping for once we get in there. And then I'll start maybe publishing twice, once in the Facebook page and then in the Facebook group, because the Facebook group lives are supposed to be for accountability for the people that are in there. It's a private group, free to come in. All you have to do is request to come in. We'll let you in and agree to follow the rules. And then you can ask me questions every night when I come live. Now, if nobody comes on and doesn't ask questions, then this typically lasts anywhere from 5 to 8 minutes, depending on what I have to talk about that evening. I'm willing to stay an hour or more if you guys are engaged and want to talk about what you're doing in keto. If you're having troubles getting into ketosis, if you're getting into ketosis but you're having trouble staying there, I can talk about how I did it, how it only took me 5 days to get into ketosis. And then within 6 weeks, I was fully keto adaptive, and it's now been 5 months and I've never fallen out of ketosis since. I typically stay somewhere between 1.8 and 3.2, what's it called? Millimolars. Yeah, MMOs, millimolars per million for ketones. That's how you gauge it. And it's not from a pee strip. It's from a glucometer. So let's talk about real quick tonight's recipe. It is keto garlic rosemary pork chops. My wife is downstairs right now cooking asparagus wrapped in bacon. She's got some of that leftover chicken thigh we had last night. I'm not sure what she's doing with that. And she has a pork chop, and I'm not sure what she's doing with that. But that's our keto dinner for tonight. It will be cooked in heavy butter. As always, the more butter, the better, because both chicken and pork chop are pretty lean. They have more protein than fat. That's what makes them lean. We like more fat than protein on our diet, but I have a lot of fat in the mornings, especially with my heavy whipping cream, so I can handle a little bit more moderate protein in the evening. But we dress stuff up to make it as fatty as possible with natural fats, not fake fats. So nothing but the good stuff. So keto garlic rosemary chicken. Now I'm looking at my other screen, so when I turn away from you, you understand why. So it's got 1 gram total carbs. So for the new people that are going to see this that aren't in the group, you've seen me post about it. We only in the My Keto Message Facebook page and Facebook group talk about total carbs. We are on a no net carb diet. If you follow the net carb keto plan, that's the reason you're either not getting into ketosis or it's the reason you're not staying in ketosis. In this case, there's 1 gram of total carbs and 1 gram of net carbs. And that's usually the case with a lot of these dinners that I post. But you'll find some cases, like if you go buy those Atkins or those keto packages that have keto on them, you'll find that they'll have like 16 or 20 total carbs and 4 net carbs. Well, if that's what you're following, I guarantee you, especially if you're on like me, a 70-25-5 macro plan, you will be going out of your ketosis in no time, because just one serving of that is going to be your total daily carb intake. Because my total daily carb intake is 21. It's either 21 or 22, something like that. I don't ever reach it. So just one of those would equal my total carbs, and I'm done. I can't have vegetables. I can't do anything else that's got carbohydrates in it the rest of the day from just one little tiny keto snack, those fat bombs especially. Now there's recipes where you can make your own fat bombs, and they will be keto, but those ones you buy from the store that follow that net carb plan, that's the reason you're not staying in ketosis, or you can't get into ketosis. I can almost guarantee it, unless there's other health issues going on. And I'm not a doctor or a nurse, so I can't tell you whether that's the case or not. But chances are that's going to be part of the problem. So if you just adjust to total carbs, you're probably going to be okay. All right, so one total carb, there is 0 grams of fiber. So for those of you that are like me and have been on keto for a little while, you know that we have a hard time having a bowel movement. So I have found, and I should have brought it up with me, a herbal peppermint tea. I love mint. I'm a mint fan. So I found I found an herbal peppermint mint tea that has a laxative built into it. And so I will make a tea either in the evening or first thing in the morning, depending on what I'm going to do that day. If I'm traveling, I will not have it in the morning. I'll have it at night. And within 12 hours, it could be within 1 hour to 12 hours. It just depends. Then I'll have my movement. So that's how I get my supplement. I don't take pills. I've never taken pills. It kills my wife when I won't even take Tylenol if I've got a fever, because I've got, I don't know, my throat is itty bitty, and it's just, I have a hard time swallowing pills. So I don't do drugs. Kids don't do drugs. All right, so 0 fiber. Fiber is our one problem on the keto diet. 21 grams of fat, which is good, and 59 grams of protein. Oh my goodness. Well, I can have up to 114 grams of protein during the day, so I'm well within my protein regime, as long as I haven't had very much protein for breakfast. Or really, I can have the equal amount for breakfast and lunch, as long as, total breakfast and lunch is 59, and I'm still good. I'm right around that 114. That'd be 118, but right around that number to keep me at 25%. And then I typically look for about 170 grams of fat for the day. That's my fat total. So my macros, my fat macro is 70%. My protein macro is 25%, and my carbohydrate macro is 5%. And if you're wondering why those numbers don't match, so it's either 148 or 178. It might be 148 on the fat grams and 119 on the protein. You're like, wait a minute, those numbers don't work out. Well, you've got to remember that they're talking about calories, and fat has 9 calories per gram of fat. Protein only has 4 grams of calories per gram of fat, as well as carbohydrates, which only have 4 grams of calories per fat. So when you factor in the calories, which is what the macros do, that's where you're getting that 70, 25, 5. And that's why the numbers seem strange if you look at them on their face value. Okay. I think I've pounded that in enough and have just spewed just about every piece of value I've got for the day right on the table, but I'm having a good time. So let's talk about this keto garlic rosemary pork chops. So it's made with organic pork bone-in center chop. They even have a name brand by Wegmans. That actually sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Kosher salt. Now, for us at home, we use what's it called? It's not a sea salt. It's now I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, my wife will probably chime in later when she watches this later on. Honey, tell them what the name of that salt is that we put on our food. So fresh rosemary, black pepper, garlic, salted butter. I would say if you're like me and have high blood pressure, probably go with unsalted butter. Just saying. I try to stay away from salt completely. Apple cider vinegar and ghee. So that is what is in the ingredients. And there goes my ankle biter. Casper, no. Sorry about that. My ankle biter hears things and he likes to yell. He's a little white. They call it a teddy bear. And because he's all white, we named him Casper. For Casper, the friendly ghost, friendliest ghost you'll know. No, I can't sing. I won't bother you with that again. So then there's ingredients, shows you exactly how to prep it, how to cook it, how long to cook it within the recipe that I put in the Facebook group. So if you're interested in learning more about this recipe, my wife is walking in the door. What's the name of that salt we use?
Himalayan.
Himalayan salt. Thank you very much. I knew she'd get it. I told them you'd post it later on if you saw it. So anyway, Himalayan salt. So if you guys want to see this recipe, just come over to my Keto message group and go ahead and request permission to come in. We'll give you permission. We're not going to keep anybody out unless you don't agree to the rules. And you know, we want you to follow the rules. We're nice people. My wife's got a little bit of a sailor mouth, but we'll get over that. Anyway, this was a pretty good call. We've been on 11 minutes. This is the longest one yet. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask anytime. Post it. You actually have to go to the Facebook group to post messages. You guys can even do videos if you want to in the group. On the page, under the video, you can leave a comment. I will respond to the comments. If you like this video, please like it, share it. And I'm getting, distracted, if you will. So like it, share it. And if you know anybody that could help from this, please go ahead and let them know. They can come here or they can go over to the Facebook group, either one, where we will be doing live keto accountability every single day. All right, guys, I've had a lot of fun doing this. Hopefully you have fun watching it, and we will see you on the next video. Have a great evening. Stay safe and healthy.